Last time on Fall of the Equestria Brotherhood, Neo and the others were captured by a Venus little girl by the name of Big Lot. We all got to see as everybody struggled to try to figure out a way out, while a mysterious lady by the name of M was ready to free them. And now, the rest of our story. Neo felt disgusted at having Big Lot call him cute.
You see,
Big Lot began.
I'm Vladimir's favorite little filly. My uncle Cyrus put in a good word for me when the old ruler of the border got killed by a certain stuffed bear he cuddled too much.
She giggled as she remembered when her uncle had died.
That was a few years ago, but Vladimir said I was just like my uncle, and I was a good leader. So he made me a princess of this place forever.
Neo wondered if Big Lot honestly didn't care about her uncle's death. Although, judging from her glee and explicit acts of sadism, you wouldn't be surprised if she felt actually happy when her uncle died. Can I ask another question? Big Lot yawned, stretching out her forelegs.
No, I don't think you can. I'm tired. Take Mr. Cuddlepets back to the dungeon, and remember to tell the guards to get him and his friends clothes and collars.
Midian approached Neo, and with every step he took, massive, powerful forelegs hissed and clacked.
Oh, Big Lot added, and make Mr. Cuddlepets take a nap too, just so it's easier to get him home.
Quickly turning to Big Lot, Neo asked, "What?" Minion's monstrous hoof slammed to the back of Neo's head. Neo's limbs went numb and he fell to the floor. Darkness slowly taking his vision away. Big Lot walked over and looked down at him. Smiling as he waved the hoof.
Bye-bye, Mr. Cuddlepants. Don't worry, we'll see each other soon enough, I promise.
The darkness took away all of Neo's senses, and he finally slipped into consciousness. The sound of droplets of water falling into cool, murky puddles inside of the cells was the only sound in the dungeon. It was cold and dark, with nothing to warm the shivering prisoners but the clothes on their backs. Lucy sat on the wooden crate inside her cell, watching the water drip from the pipes. Wester leaned against the freezing iron bars of her cell, deep in thought. Allie, thought, was the only one actively searching for a way to escape. She tried everywhere, examining the tiniest details in everything. She would poke the tiny cracks in the walls or stand on a box to tap the pipes. Adam was in his own confined cell, alone, pacing back and forth. Adam wondered what he would do to escape Big Lot's town. Lucy turned to Allie, who was still inspecting, looking for weaknesses in the cell. You know that's not going to do anything, right? Allie took a pause in her search. What will work? Trying to escape by poking at cracks and puddles. Just wasted time, was the answer. Frowley, Allie turned to observe the cell. You're just grousy because you can't think of anything better. No, Lucy replied, just a little confused. Just think about it for a moment. If those of the ponies have been in here, and none of them have escaped without Anne's help, how are you going to do it? Especially if you're just poking things. Allie sighed. You never know the structural weakness of a building till you search for it. Who knows? This place is pretty old. Sounds like the building isn't settling well. Fine, go on. Just saying it's not going to get you anywhere, Lucy replied, returning to the falling droplets. Fear festered inside of Adam. The only thing he wanted at that moment was to tear down the cell door and storm Big Lot's room and find his brother. But he knew he couldn't. He knew he was powerless, and it hurt. To make up for it, though, Adam kept trying to think of a plan. Stopping his rhythmic pacing for a moment, Adam turned his attention to Wester, at the edge of his cell. Adam stuck his muzzle between the iron bars and whispered, Hey, Wester! Wester turned his crimson visor to Adam. Yes?
I've been thinking of ways to escape, but they all involve M helping us. You have anything?
Negative, Wester responded. I've been pondering various routes of escape. None have a very high chance of success. All of the more favorable options require the aid of them. Adam sighed, discouraged. Great.
Their only option is to wait, I guess.
Lucy hopped down from her box, joined the conversation. Holding out okay, Adam? Adam looked at the ground in shame.
I'm just scared. Scared for my brother, Scared for you guys. I'm scared about what that psycho Philly might do with us.
Hey, it's all right to be scared, Adam. Lucy reassured him. Means you care. The deafening sound of screeching metal sounded as the door to the dungeon opened. The stallion who stood in the doorway was large, dressed in a neat, clean black suit. Upon his back, hanging limp and still, was Neo. Minion, a keycard firmly between his jaws, trotted over to Adam's cell. Adam felt a sense of uplifting joy build and swell inside him. As Minion came closer, the sight of his unconscious brother created a harrowing dread that washed away his joy.
Brother! Brother, are you okay? Answer me!
Adam sounded gently. The rest of the group gathered to see Neo. Ellie gasped and placed a hoof over her mouth, while Lucy Western slammed her hose vigorously against the bars, spitting out fists starts at Minion. Lucy growled, "What the hell did you do to him? Answer me! I'll fucking kill you if you did anything to him." Lester was even angrier than Lucy was. "Let me out of here if you value your life. I won't stop hunting you if he is dead, and there's no place you can hide from my wrath. So let's just spare your soul if he's harmed, because I won't when I'm out of here." "Quiet, all of you," Minion shouted with a card in his teeth, approaching out of his cell. Swiping the key card into the locking mechanism, the lock slid open, pulling the cell door open. Minion let Neo roll off his back. Catching him with one of his large mechanical forelegs, Minion tossed Neo into the cell. "Mr. Cuttlebats is unconscious, though I'm sure Miss Locke has a lot planned for him," Minion said as he put the key card in his pocket. Slamming the cell door shut, Minion walked down the dungeon. The dungeon door slammed shut as everything became dark, as the prisoners were left alone once more. The other prisoners shuffled to the back of their cells in silence, and was broken only by the dripping water returned. Adam rushed to his brother's side. Desperate urgency filled out his eyes as he shook Neil's hoods.
Brother! Wake up! Are you okay? What happened? Brother! Brother!
He cried out desperately. "Adam," Lucy called from her cell, "get into one of the puddles. Throw some water on him, see if that wakes him up." Keeping his eyes on his brother, Adam nodded slowly.
Okay, I'll try.
Slinging one of Neil's forelegs around his shoulders, Adam dragged his brother to the murky pool of water. When he reached it, Adam gently placed Neil on his side, moved his brother's face closer to the water. With a single hoof, Adam splashed a frigid brown liquid onto Neo. It only took a few splashes before Neo let out a few heavy coughs. Adam smiled and held back tears of joy as he saw his brother blink. Moaning quietly, Neo asked, "Where am I? Did Big Hawk send me back to the dungeon?" Adam hugged his brother tightly as he could.
Brother!
"Hey, Adam, don't leave us in the dark. How's Neo doing?" Lucy sighed.
He's fine.
Adam answered joyously. Adam turned and hugged Neo as tightly as he could.
You're okay. Thanks, Celestia, you're okay.
Neo coughed hoarsely. "Sorry about having to leave so suddenly." Adam let go of his brother and grinned down.
It's all right now. All that matters is that you're okay. Here, let me help you up.
"Thanks, Adam," Neo replied, trying to stand. Wrapping Neo's foreleg around his shoulder, Adam helped his brother stand. Once Neo was sure he wouldn't fall, Adam let go of him. Stumbling around the shell, Neo tried to regain his balance. The aching pain radiating from his head made it hard to concentrate at first, but it did not take him long to finally walk without error. Taking a few careful steps, Neo came to the cell bars that leaned against him. "Ugh, so then," Neo groggily asked, "did anything turn up while I was gone?"
Nope, nothing,
Allie answered. Adam sat down and sighed.
Me and Wester have been thinking of ways to escape, but without M's help, doesn't look like we're getting out of here anytime soon.
Neo chuckled. "That might change." Everybody's ears perked up, and he looked at Neo hopefully. Neo levitated two grooved oars from his pocket.
What are those things?
Adam asked. "I'll be honest with you guys. There's something really good, or they're absolutely worthless. That just made it hard for any party to see the objects clearly." "Let's see if one of the parties in here in the dungeons knows," Wizard recommended after he failed to identify them. "Alright, let's see what they know," Lucy replied. Lucy called out next to hers. Hey, neighbor, you there?" It was caught against the concrete floor, and a skinny face emerged from the darkness. Like all the other ponies, the mare who had come out of the dark corners of her cell was dressed in a filthy pink puffy dress.
What is it? Some of us are trying to sleep,
It's bad enough you just stood there and talk all day, she complained. You go back to sleep in a moment. But I want you to tell me why my friend's student keys are over there. The mayor looked at Neil cynically. What are you talking about? We were stripped of your possessions when... The mayor was stunned when she saw the metal oars. Her eyes went wide and pools of tears built up. An odd mix of happiness and terror could be seen in her face. Whatever the round items were, the emotion they inspired was overpowering. Where did you get those? She whispered, rubbing the collar around her neck. Neil looked at the tiny round objects that floated next to him. I took them from Big Ot's room. What are they? She laughed weakly. Those, my friend, are Big Ot's keys for the sleep collars. Whispers and murmurs spread throughout the dungeons. Ponies curiously shuffled to the bars of their cells to see the fabled keys. Is it a collar key? Is it true? Is it? Did M do us? Has he brought us something? No, M didn't bring them, said the mayor, a few happy tears rolling down her powdered cheeks. It's the newcomer. She brought them from her room. A positive murmur fell over the ponies in the dungeon as they talked to one another. Webster spoke up, silencing the low whispers. If those truly are the collar keys, I know how we can get out of here. It'll take some time, but M said she would be back. What I need to know now from you ponies is when she'll be back. What are you asking us? The mayor from next to her cell asked. Sometimes she comes at night, sometimes in the mornings, but her visits are rare, unless there are new ponies who are really interested in her. Then she might come tonight, right? Allie asked. Your chances are better, I'll tell you that, but I wouldn't keep your hopes up. Neil put the keys back in his pocket and sighed. Then I guess we're going to have to wait then. Lucy shook her head. Damn, swear today was going so nicely until that stupid skinny bastard showed up. At the very least, Neo, could you tell us what she might do with us? You met her after all. Laurie's head, Leo sulkily admitted what happened. She plans to use us as toys, make us do horrible things to each other, just like them. The only reason why she wanted me to visit. She named me Mr. Cuddlepants. What? Lucy laughed. She named you what? Neil lowered his volume. Mr. Cuddlepants. Damn, that's funny. After another quick chuckle, Lucy apologized. But sick. I'm sorry it had to happen to you. It's nothing, Lucy. Neil replied absently. Adam got closer to his brother and sat down. The group didn't speak, and as the quiet voices of the other present ponies dimmed, a loud echo of wire dripping persisted. M was their only hope to get out. Webster knew that with her help they could leave. For there he gets revenge. Big lot. No matter how many guards could stop him from giving her what she deserved. The sound of crickets chirping in a low, dry brush filled the air. It was nighttime in the border settlement of Jerky Town. The only ponies outside were the ones that warmed themselves by the dancing flames that burned in the pre-war barrels. Them, and an old mare that walked along one of the dusty roads and slid throughout Jungle Town. She was known as M, as she carried a mop and bucket at her side. As he passed by an old two-story tavern, M avoided a group of soldiers from the Iron Legion who eyed her cautiously. She ignored them and briskly turned on. Her destination was the dungeon, and the leaders of soldiers she gave wouldn't stop her. Near the concrete storage building, she turned sharply and made her way to a smaller structure, connected by a pathway of a chain-link fence. M reached an old green door that was mainly used for maintenance ponies and soldiers to get inside easily. Striding closely to the cracked graffiti-coated walls, she entered the building. With the use of her horn, the green door was enveloped in her magical aura, and M shut it as carefully as she could. M had entered a long, dark hallway, with 3 rooms beaming light into darkness. M could hear that most of the rooms in the hall were currently occupied by guards, mostly talking to their friends about how their day went. Halfway down the corridor was the pathway leading to the dungeon. M grew nervous. In order to ease the pathway to the dungeon, she would need to pass all the guards' rooms. Taking a deep breath, M calmed her beating heart. Trying lightly, she paused near the doorway of the room, as something the ponies inside were discussing caught her attention. Moving tightly along the wall, she put her ears close to the edge of the door frame and listened. Scooter grumbled as he paced back and forth frantically. Sitting at a small table was Whopper, who rested a hoof on a massive Gatling and bow salve that sat on the table. Whopper's eyes followed Scooter as he moved around the room.
I swear, I just don't understand. I just don't.
Scooter pouted. You still mad about not getting your promotion? Whopper asked. Scooter glared at Whopper.
What you think I am? Happy?
No, but you really should let it go, boss. Not healthy. Shaking his head, Scooter continues pacing.
Not healthy. Not healthy. I'll tell you what's not healthy. Looking for that gosh darn sleep out of Big Up.
Scooter continues tirade.
Yes, Whopper. Yes. That's what I'm giving your concealment. Not this thing, but my eyes will.
Lifting his foreleg, Whopper planted himself onto his face. I just think you're upset, boss. I think we should head down to the bar, cool out for a bit. All the bulls are down there. Ray shielded Scooter's blood-side eye as he stared at the muscular stallion.
No! Because there needs to be a dressing now.
Oh, great.
What was that?
Scooter snapped at Whopper. Flinching the angry punter, Whopper held up both hooves to Scooter, responding to him in a reassuring tone. Okay, boss. Okay. I'll listen. I'll listen. Fury started to evaporate from Scooter's mind. Taking the seat at the table, he lowered his head and sulked.
I don't know, Whopper. Yeah, I was. Thinking that these ponies I brought in were something special. You know? For a while, I thought them ponies were actually the ones for Arcade. Those two, you know? The big white ones.
Inside his wife as realization struck her. Conversation instantly interested in Nero gathered complete and undivided attention. Whopper patted his boss on the back slightly, trying to comfort him. Little dear boss, you'll get it one day. I know I will. Scooter burst into tears while his friend comforted him.
Really? You think so?
Sure, boss, anything's possible. Scooter sniffed, rubbing away the tears that ran down his dirty seam sheet from his hoof. Looking at the Whopper, Scooter asked,
Even get that promotion?
Yep, even getting a promotion, Whopper replied with a smile. Massaging Scooter's back a tiny cigar monster, Whopper added,
You still don't want to go to the bar?
I'll get you your favorite drink.
You will?
Scooter jumped, sobbing. Sure, boss. Sipping loudly, Scooter rubbed soggy eyes.
Okay then. But then we get to talk about some more, okay?
Whopper nodded and helped Scooter up from his chair. Of course we can, boss. I'm sure the boys will love to hear you out. Anne retracted herself swiftly from the doorway and hid herself in the shadows. Both ponies stepped out in the room and into the dark corridor. Scooter was still weeping, but now he was muttering words of vengeance to himself. Whopper, trying as hard as he could, attempted to comfort him. Trying right by him, they exited the building. Elle waited a few minutes to make sure the duo had truly left. After she was sure Scooter and Whopper would not return, Em decided to look inside their room. Poking her head around the doorway, she scanned the room for any other unwanted residents. Thankfully, there was only an oil lamp sitting on the wooden table. Opposite the end of the room, Em saw a counter littered with trash. One item, however, stood out from the rest. It was a long linen sack that looked like it could be stuffed with solid items. Protruding from the top of the sack was the barrel of a gun. Em could not see what type of gun it was, but she could guess what it belonged to. Perhaps, she thought, they might belong to the new prisoners. But maybe they're weapons that belong to the Legion. Or maybe it's a scrap that Whopper found in the wasteland. Em didn't know, and the more she contemplated, the more possibilities spawned in her mind. Shaking her head, Em cleared the thoughts from her mind and walked away. Each step she took towards the chain-link pavement was careful. Em moved like an alley cat, prowling silently through the night. The walkway to the dungeon always puzzled her. The chain link was made of the roof and walls was weak, plus they were worn by the elements. Still, she moved on towards the dungeon. Em saw the pit when she got closer to the walkway. Through the wooden, diamond-like patterns of the lid that covered the pit, she heard the distant sounds of painful moans. There was little she could do for them at the moment, but she felt that it was her duty to help those in the dungeon, no matter the risk. Sadly, many of those who went into the pit never came out. And those who did were scarred, mutilated, and were, more often than not, mentally broken by the experience. Em felt a massive amount of grief as she remembered the truths she learned not too long ago. Not every pony could be saved. While M knew this all too well, the feeling she had not gone through these victims persisted. Reaching a large bolted door to the dungeon, M searched her surroundings from left to right, behind and in front of her. No ponies were there. Taking an opportunity, M gently pushed the door open, holding the door slightly ajar. M made sure that it was open wide enough for her body to easily slip out of. Sliding through the opening, she closed the door behind her delicately. A few oil lamps was hung along the walls, providing enough dim light for her to see. With the addition of nightfall, it was even darker than it had been during the day. The few small areas around the lamps where the light did not reach was completely consumed by darkness. She crept through the long hallway, passing by cell after cell to where the newcomers were held. Quickly glancing at each cell she advanced, Anne reached the cell where the newcomers were. Neo and Al sat in their cell quietly. It was too cold to sleep, and the few crates in their cell were too weak to sit on, so they waited on the cold, damp ground. Lucy paced herself back and forth in her cell, while Wester drew out a mental map of the compound in his mind. Only each time he seemed to have the map drawn correctly, he would find some mistake and start all over again. It was oddly enough the same numbers and statistics that Ada sought. Objective: kill Big Lot, the numbers would say. Was this harsh, cruel, mechanical curse making him think this way? To kill her? Once the numbers said a command, an almost primal urge developed inside him, compelling him to follow them. My objective, Wester heard an echo in his head. Allie saw the only stable crate in the dungeon, laying her legs sway out the edge while she waited, staring down towards the ground. Emma approached Neo and Adam's cell, lowering her cleaning tools to the floor, and cleared her throat, turning their attention to M. Both of her eyes grew wide as he thrust his stars to the cell.
M, it's you!
Adam exclaimed. Putting her to her lips, M hushed him to stay quiet.
Not so loud,
she whispered.
Somebody might hear you.
Oh, Adam returned softly.
Sorry.
Lizzie and the others put their hose to the bars of her own cell. Oh, holy shit, you weren't kidding. It is M, isn't it? Lucy commented.
Shush,
Emma added sternly.
Right, sorry about that,
Lucy said, lowering the volume of her tone.
It's all right. You're excited, I know, but I don't know how much time I have to get you all out. If I'm going to do it, I'll have to do it tonight,
Em stated lowly.
By tomorrow,
Em continued,
she'll have issued you callers.
By then, it'll make feeding you harder. I'll have to wait until they do caller maintenance before I can get to you again. So, we're leaving tonight then, right? If we are, what is it you need us to do?
Nothing at the moment. Just wanted to make sure you're all fine.
Well, none of us are dead, that's what you mean, Lucy commented.
Indeed, we're all fine. But if you intend on helping us, it means you have a plan, correct?
And looked to Wester and nodded.
I do, though it may or may not work.
A confused look spread across the faces of all of the group. What is that? Lucy muttered. Laying a hoof on the lock of Neo and Al's cell, she explained.
Sometimes the guards leave their credit cards out when they're done using them.
When they do that, I sneak in and take them. I finally freed the prisoner and put it back before anyone can notice. So what? It's like a 50-50 chance of getting out of here? Lucy stated.
Lester shook his head. No. More along the lines of a 88% chance.
Lucy frowned and lowered her ears. Thanks, Wester. That just lifted my spirits right up.
You're being sarcastic, aren't you?
Wester replied. Shaking her head, Lucy responded in a sarcastic tone. Nope, not at all. Despite the conversation between the two ponies, Em continued. Anywho, if they left a key card where I could get you out. If not, you'll have to wait, and hope Big God doesn't do anything. Adam paused and thought for a moment.
Where do you keep the other key cards?
In a black safe about. Em raised her hoof off the ground, and stopped it near the knob of her other foreleg. This tall. It's got a standard lock on it, but I almost never wanted to lockpick things. To this day, I don't know where the keys are.
Based off the predicted probability, if you free Adam, Neo, or Allie, they could pick the lock to get to the safe. It doesn't matter if you get one key or the other. You can still send a pony to get us out.
Wester said. Right, Em purred, thinking about Wester's plan. What then? What will we do with all those keys? I can't free the other prisoners. They take 2 steps outside the settlement. It'll be boom, no more head. I think I got that part covered. Neo swallowed, reaching into his dusty pocket, raising himself to the bars. There, resting neatly on himself, were the 2 keys to the slave hours. I have these. Aren't they the keys to the slave hours? M's jaw dropped, eyes widened. She was completely taken aback by what he was holding, rendering her nearly speechless. How? Neo put his keys back in his pocket and grinned modestly, rubbing the back of his neck. Well, it's an interesting story to say the least. But will it work? The plan, that is? M hummed, rubbing her chin. It could. Webster poked the tip of his armored muzzle through the bars. A deep sincereness filled every word of his voice. We have a high probability of success. That is, only if the keycard or key cards are there. Once we're freed, we need our weapons and supplies. Then I'm off to make Big Lot pay for this.
Webster,
Lucy whispered to him, a faint, curious tone hovering in her words.
I know she's bad, but she's a filly, man. You can't kill a filly.
Pausing, Webster thought for a moment, while Neo glanced uncertainly at him. I know he was an asshole to me, but don't you think that's a little far? Negative, Whisper declared calmly. It is my objective to protect you. Big Lot has eliminated any mercy I will have on her. After we are free, no pony will suffer by her hose again.
But first, we need to actually focus on getting out first.
M commented in a firm tone of voice.
Agreed, Allie said. But Webster's right. We need our supplies and weapons. You don't by chance know where any of our stuff is, do you?
M thought back to what she saw coming in the dozen. I do remember seeing the stock of a gun popping out of a bag Whopper had. I'm not sure if they're your guns, or just scrap, though. Lucy nodded, grinning with devilish satisfaction.
Oh, those are our guns, all right.
Unfortunately, M continued, I don't know where your supplies are. I guess he might have taken them to the warden's den. That's where your keycards are.
So that's our plan then, right?
Adam asked.
You'll get the keycard for one of our cells, then we'll help you get the gate open.
Lucy continued after Adam. When it's unlocked, we'll grab the keys and unlock the collars. Right, and you'll grab our weapons too, Neo added, determined look in his eyes.
M nodded. If your bags are in the warden's den, I'll tell you. So it's a plan? Lucy asked.
M nodded. It's a plan.
Pulling out the hood of her tattered linen cloak, she faced the door. As she was about to depart, M paused and looked towards the brothers. In her eye, a faint, almost saddening, mournful emotion flared about. Before I go, I need to ask you something. You two especially. M blinked at M. What is it? I overheard Scooter and Whopper talking, and he said you two might be the ponies to save Dark Cannon. M diverted her eyes from their faces. Is it true? Are you two the guardians who saved them?
Neo nodded, candid look in his eyes. I would want to say yes, but I'll be honest, we didn't save anything. If anything, we tried, and a few fortunate souls made it. If we truly saved them, their town would still be around. Most of the townsfolk would still be alive. M gave a petite smile that was blanketed by a shadow of her hood. Did you save a pony named Breezeheart? As he is perked upward and nodded seriously.
Yeah, Breeze and I were.
You don't need to say anything else, M interjected softly, in a warming tone. I understand if you didn't believe us. M turned her gaze to the two brothers, retaining her small, almost joyful smile as she remained silent. Returning to her cleaning tools to pick them up, dancing down to the end of the dozen to the heavy steel bolted door she left. Many the impressive ponies sat silently, sobbing. Tears of joy rolled down her cheeks as she pictured the liberating sensation of freedom, the joy it brought. Adam and Neo sat in their cells, smiling sanguinely. Even though M had not replied to them, they could practically feel what she had thought. Perhaps, just maybe she did trust him. Perhaps, only perhaps. M stopped at the end of the chain-link outdoor pathway. She breathed in deeply, at the unnerving sensation of anxiety escalating in her chest. As she stuck her head out from the corner, her heart began to beat more rapidly. Calm down, M. It'll be over soon. You can do this, she thought, reasserting herself. No pony could be seen down both ways in the dark corridor, only the bright orange light beaming through the 3 doorways of the hallway. First doorway from her, near the very end of the hall, was the warden's den. Gathering her courage, she strolled down the hallway, keeping a calm, inconspicuous complexion in her face. The worst thing that could happen was if she suddenly turned pale or clumsy, especially if a soldier was around her. Coming to the end of the hall, she looked inside the warden's den carefully, and with her cleaning tools levitating at her side, she checked the interior of the den. Against the left wall were 2 tables, resting side by side, set several large saddlebags laying on top of them. On the right of the wall was a leaning soldier. His head was lowered, and his eyes shut tightly. From what she could see, the leasted officer was snoring softly, as he lay back leisurely in a small wooden chair. At the end of the room was a counter, and behind it were 3 massive silver computer towers, all connected by an entanglement of various colored wires that ran along their tops. A larger than average gas lamp was perched on the top of the countertop, providing light to the whole room. Next to the lamp, a small terminal, which appeared to have wires connecting to the towers, sat beeping an almost inaudible beep. Focusing her magic on the bucket at her side, she moved on toward the counter. Stepping lightly, she moved like a gentle breeze. Not even her bucket moved, nor did it make so much as a sound. Gently resting her cleaning tools down, she gazed on the countertop. Like she hoped, a red key card marked in black with the words Cell 43 was marked on it, though it was unclear to which cell it was. Was it the blue or white pony cell, or the air cell? Current moment, only a slight relief came over her, for at least there was a key card, and that was all she needed. Pulling the card into the pocket of her cloak, she crept out of the room as the soldier continued to sleep soundly. Leaning back into the hallway, she moved back silently towards the dungeon. Through the outdoor pathway she went, and once more, opening the large dungeon door, opened only through enough for her body to move through, she went inside. All the other imprisoned ponies were pressing their hooves against the bars of their cells. Once again, trotted down the dungeon to where Neo, Am, and the others waited for her. Sinking the ends of their muzzles through the spaces of their cell bars, every pony had a beamy, joyful smile.
Did you get it?
Am asked Em. Em nodded and removed the card from her pocket. Yeah, I did, though I'm not sure whose cell it unlocks. Let's just try both cells, see which one works, Lucy suggested. Em came to the lock of the brother's door and prepared to swipe the card. You know, she said, swiping the card through the lock, I don't think I caught your names. Neo chuckled. Don't think you did. I'm Neo, and this is my little brother Adam. Adam waved at Em briefly before Neo continued on. Over there is Lucy, she's the one with the fedora, and then next to her is Allie Western. Well, Em muttered, nice to meet all of you, but I got some bad news. Looks like this key card doesn't belong to this cell.
Here.
Allie said, pointing to the lock on her cell. Try this one. Turning towards the next lock, Em swiped it through the thin slot. A tiny red light indicating the status of the lock turned to a green. No sooner it had, a loud kick came from the lock.
Hell yeah!
Lucy exclaimed superbly. Lester pushed open the door and stepped to the walkway to divide both sides of the dungeon. Lucy and Allie followed him out and turned their attention to Em. Em smiled at him, put the card back inside her cloak pocket. So what now? Do you still want me and one of you to get the other keys? Em asked. Lucy rubbed her chin. Sure. You should take Allie, though. I'm okay with only picking a lock, and now the whole group sees the best out of it. And while you and Allie do that, Wester and I'll get the guns.
Oh,
Em exclaimed as she remembered the bags in Scarce room. Speaking of which, I saw some battle bags in the warden's den. Not sure how many there were, but I think there were 5, maybe 6. Lucy smirked and whispered Lily on her breath. Excellent. Pointing to the door, Allie whispered,
if those are our bags, my tools to pick locks should be there. If they are, I can unlock the safe before you know it.
Good.
Wester nodded affirmatively.
Now let's move out. The quicker we move, the better chance we have to get to the others undetected.
Right, Em agreed. Let's hurry. When you got our guns, meet us back here. If Allie and I can, we'll grab the saddlebags as well. With a confirming nod from each of the ponies, the 4 dashed to the end of the dungeon to execute their plan. Neo and Am watched their friends rush to the outside world. The brothers then wondered if Em could sneak around with no difficulties. Surely they could as well. Then again, she was used to sneaking around the compound. But it didn't matter what they thought at that instant. All the brothers could do was wait, holding the door ajar with their magic, and most of the three other ponies to move on. Lester, Lucy, and Allie trotted quickly across the walkway that led to the main compound building. From there, Em gently closed the dungeon door and walked to the group of ponies that waited for her. In the distance, the four ponies could hear the guards laugh and chat about the previous day's work. It's fortunate that no soldiers stumbled upon the escapees. Even luckier that the four guards who stayed in the compound building were out drinking in the tavern. Em waved at Lester and Lucy and pointed her hoof at the room with the weapons. Responding with confirming nods, Lester and Lucy went to retrieve the group's gear. Allie moved up to the hall with them, and Lester and Lucy moving down the hall. Each pony did their best to remain quiet. The constant threat of a soldier stumbling upon their operation loomed over them like a malicious specter. Lucy came to the first door that, as Em had described, led to the room that held their weapons. Poking her head around the doorway, Lucy looked inside. Lester kept his eyes locked on the exit as she looked inside, wary of any that might walk in. Fencing her skirts, Lucy confidently whispered, "It's clear." Both ponies went into the room. The dim light from the single gas lamp inside provided the only light to see in the whole room. Lucy approached the linen sack Em had medicine, and as suspected, she picked it up. The weight of the sack was almost overbearing, jiggling, and clattering around the gun stuffed in the bag. Removing the rope holding the bag shut, Lucy inspected the bag's contents. Large over smile almost greeted the ear on her face. "Hey, Lester, guess what?" Lester responded as he approached the massive Gatling gun battle cell resting on the table.
What is it, Lucy?
Guess whose guns are in the bag?
Lucy peered, sing-song manner. Lester hummed.
Is it my rifle or revolvers?
I don't know. Let's see.
Lucy exclaimed, before grabbing the bag with her teeth.
Ah!
Lucy sang merrily, removing one of Lester's large python revolvers from the bag.
Here's big-ass gun number one.
Lester took the revolver and analyzed the weapon with a careful eye.
This one's still loaded,
he said, placing the gun inside one of the holsters in his foreleg.
And,
Lucy continued, pulling another identical revolver from the bag.
Here's a big-ass gun number two.
Levitating the gun to his crimson visor, Lester inspected it attentively.
This one is also loaded,
he commented before holstering the pistol. Pulling a massive, folded, anti-armor rifle from his sack, Lucy saying,
And here's big-ass gun number three.
Taking the leather strap of the gun, Lester slung around his body.
Are the other weapons in there?
Yep, Lucy said, even my baby girl.
Removing a sniper rifle from the bag, Lucy smiled as he pushed the cool metal barrel against her face. She coddled the rifle and spoke to her as a mother would have pulled.
Don't worry, baby. Mama's here, and she's not gonna let those mean old ponies take you away again. No, she isn't. No, she isn't.
Lester placed a hoof to his helmet's mouthpiece and coughed, disrupting Lucy's tender reassurances to her weapon. Lucy grew silent and looked at Lester. The weapon was still pressed against her face. She blinked. Her cheeks were set aflame as a bright red blood spread. Putting the gun on her back, she cleared her throat nervously, rubbing the back of her neck.
Sorry about that. Got a little... Oh, never mind.
Shaking his head, Lester did not say anything. Instead, he turned his attention towards the Gatling gun on the table. Placing a hoof on the cold, dull steel, he traced his hoof along the long barrels of the gun. Focusing on the ammo bins attached to the bow side, gauged the amount of ammunition the gun held. To his surprise, the gun itself had been repurposed to hold not one single load of ammo, but three. The catch was, this also meant that the weight was significantly greater than it could be initially. Lucy saw him eyeing the cell.
You like it?
She smirked. Lester nodded, admiring the rifle further.
What's saying you can't take it? If the pony here had half a brain, he would have took it with him.
The gun was consumed in a simmering aura of magical energy that up to the air. Moving the folded rifle on his back, he rested the saddle on top of his duster. Tightening the saddle, he could feel the heavy weight pressing firmly against his body. Lucy circled him a few times, nodding to himself as he did.
Well, that looks good on you.
Yes, I like it,
Lester stated proudly.
Well, it's good you found something you like.
Lizzie said, slinging the back with many weapons on her back. Well, we gotta get to the dungeon. You and Al will be happy to know we got the guns.
Yes, the guns.
Lester murmured, stared at the Gatling gun. Lizzie shook her head, rolled her eyes. Stallions and their guns. The guards inside the warden's den snored uneasily, while Allie and Em tiptoed their way into the room, making no sounds as they moved. Allie tapped Em on her shoulder, pointing her own eyes. Em nodded and pointed to a bag on the left side of the table in the room. Allie crawled to the bag. Lucy stopped as the horrifying yell of the guard sent a chill down her spine. Stop! I'll get ya! The guard screamed. However, something didn't seem right. Allie and Em braced themselves for an attack, but the guard immediately returned to his nightmare after he bombastically announced his gruesome threat. The two mayors sighed with relief. Allie then carefully folded the bag in front of her. She opened the bag as quietly as she could, searched for bobby pins and screwdriver. Pulling out both the required tools, Allie whispered as low and soft as she could, Where's the safe? Over here. Follow me, Em replied, motioning her hoof towards the counter. Together, the two mayors bent their legs and crouched low to the ground. From in front of the counter, it was difficult, if not impossible, to know where the two mayors were moving towards the safe. Allie was happy to see that it was exactly as Em said. Right under the corner was a small black safe. Give me a sec, Allie whispered, breaking her screwdriver and bobby pin. I'll be done in no time. Em nodded, peeked over the counter to keep an eye on the guard's activity. Placing the pin in the lock and the screwdriver persisted above it, she jiggled, turned the two tools, with a search of the hit lock's sweet spot. While she worked, the soft sounds of metal tingling, clanging, vibrated in the air. With each sound Allie made, the guard shifted in his seat uncomfortably. All the while, the terminal on the counter beat a rhythmic pattern that was almost maddening. Beep, beep, beep. It echoed throughout the room. The sound agitated Allie. The stress of locking the safe quietly, constant beeping of the terminal, and that combined made her own ears throb with pain. Stopping her work for a moment, she sighed and nudged Em gently. What is it? Em asked. Allie pointed to the terminal above her on the counter. Can you check why it's beeping? It's really starting to get on my nerves. Em briefly checked the guard's status. Like before, he shifted occasionally in his seat, but his lips snored loudly. Standing up, Em leaned over to reach the terminal. Two words were blazing on the terminal's dark screen. New file. In an attempt to dispel the repetitive noise, Em clicked the escape keys. The words were replaced with the image of a map, a brief summary about the location presented to her. Yes! Allie whispered triumphantly to herself as the click of the lock opening sounded. Did you do it? Em asked, leaning over to Allie. Allie nodded. Yes. Now let's get the key card so we can get out of here. Em moved, and Allie stood up, gazing at the large green image on the screen. Squinting her eyes, she studied the map. It was a map of an underground tunnel system. A mine, possibly. Directing her eyes to the summary below, she read through it. Em watched her anxiously as a horrible feeling turned in Allie's stomach. Suddenly, that feeling intensified as Allie's grew wider, mouth like a gape. What is it? Em asked urgently. It's a map of the Dark Mines. It's where the Holy Project Iron Hammer! Allie whispered loudly to Em. Em had a look of bewilderment about her. Project what? It's something the Coalition's been looking for a long, long time. Now I can see its exact location at the mine. Em raised a perplexed eyebrow at the mayor. Why would they send something important to this terminal? Allie began to type on the terminal softly. It says they want some of the slaves from here to work there. And they sent a map of where the slaves will work in the mine. Does it say what the project is? No, it doesn't, Allie replied. Here, Allie said. I'll stick around a little longer. I'll see if I can download this and put it on the holo recorder in the terminal. Callissa's gonna need this. An uneasy sweat ran down Em's brow, while every other second she checked the sleeping guard near them. Could you please hurry up, then? We need to get out of here. Get the key cards, saddlebags to your friends. Right, Allie hummed slowly. Almost done! Returning from the terminal side was a small, square-like device. Allie levitated, and the key cards for the safe into her bags. All right, that's it. Let's get the bags and get out of here. Right, Em agreed, stepping out from behind the counter. Together, the two mayors moved towards the table. Pulling at the bags of their hooves, they focused their magical energy on the saddlebags. With the bags hovering peacefully beside them, they stepped lightly toward the exit, and then left through the doorway, back to the dungeon. The guard slipped in his chair, barely finding something in his troubled dreams. With one of his forward forelegs extended, Western held the dungeon door slightly ajar. Peeking through the crack, he waited for the mares to return. His shadows in the nighttime air, Ellie and Em slightly came racing through the walkway, group saddlebags flying at their sides. Whispering down the dungeon hallway, Western called to the brothers who waited further in the dungeon. "They're coming." Lucy stood at the door of her former cell, waiting for Allie and Em. As the two mares entered the dungeon, a look of static exuberance illuminated Allie's face. The moment Em passed the doorway, Western gently closed the door behind her, allowed the mares to Em and Neil's cell. Lucy smiled as she saw the bags levitating around the mares. "Hell yeah, you did it! But did you get the key cards too?" Em nodded at her. "Yes, all of them. But that's not all." Allie nodded verbally. Neil leaned against the bars of his cell and blinked curiously at her. "What is it?" Allie now levitated each saddlebag to her owners. As every pony recovered their gear, Allie explained what had happened. "There's a small terminal that connected to the large computer towers. Well, sometime earlier today, the Legion sent a map of where to keep the Iron Hammer." "Really?" Adam said, impressed. "Do you know what the Coalition would do with that information?" "I do." Allie nodded. "That's why he downloaded it into the hollow recorder in the terminal. And then we find the next Coalition outpost and give it to them." "They'll go crazy," Lucy added. "They've been looking for this since, well, forever. When he couldn't find it in Ironstead, the Coalition was pissed off mercilessly." Em cleared her throat, halted the conversation. Pointing to the last two remaining bags floating beside her, she said, "I know this is a big deal, but we still need to get all these ponies out, including those two still in there." "Yeah," Neil grinned, feeling embarrassed. "It'd be nice to get out of here." Allie went through her bags quickly, trying to correct her mistake. Right, sorry about that. Here, let's get you out of there." Digging through her saddlebag, Allie pulled out a red key card, floated it out to the lock on the brother's cell door. Sliding it through the lock, the little light indicating the status of the door switched green, followed by the wonderful sound of the lock clicking open. Lucy opened the door for them. She smirked as she tipped her hat to the brothers. "Welcome to the outside world, boys. You have fun in your cell?"
"It could be better,"
Alan replied, coming out of his cell for the first time in over a day. Neil followed closely behind his brother, soaked in the sweet feeling of freedom. After stepping out of their cell, Lucy shut the door behind them and floated their bag on their backs. "Hope I didn't mix them up. I was deciding who had which depending on their size," Anne said. Neil felt the weight of his bag, as did Adam. Patting the sides of each bag, both brothers gave them thankful smiles, though it was Adam who whispered to her,
"No, you gave us the right ones."
"You're also going to need these," Lucy said, tossing the bag of guns before them. Neil removed his shotgun from the linen bag. "Thanks, Lucy." Adam took the bag himself, searched it, fishing at the bottom of the sack for a few items, left out and took his weapons as well. Each pony holstered their guns. Letting them hang at their side, holstering them along their legs, every pony was now equipped and armed. "Now what?" Em asked. Allie gave her a determined smile.
"Now we free these ponies."
Each of the imprisoned ponies had hopeful looks in their eyes. Gleaming smiles were on every single face as they saw tears of joy from behind the cold, confining bars of their cells. From her bag, Allie pulled out the key cards of each cell, half of which she gave to Em, half of which she held on to. Pointing to the farther end of the dungeon, Allie told Em, "You take those cards to free those ponies. I'll take my cards to free the other half." Focusing her magic on the half that Allie gave her, Em took the cards and dashed to the end of the dungeon. Allie took her cards and moved to the other end, stopping at the steel-bolted door. Moving to each of the cells on both sides, they checked each card, swiped it through the locks. One by one, the sound of mechanical locks snapped open echoed throughout the corridor. And, with each new cell open, a pony beaten and bruised came trembling out of the cell, smiled widely. Some of the imprisoned ponies found it hard at first to step outside their cell. In their tattered, panky outfits, they cried, embracing one another, as, for what seemed like the first time, they were at last free to roam where they pleased, when they pleased. Neil gave Adam one of the two collar keys, and like the mares had done, each of them went from one end of the freeing ponies. Collars left and right fell to the ground, clattering and banging against the damp concrete floor. A clean, bright area around where the collar had once been imprinted onto their fur. while the grime, dirt, blood, and sweat gathered around the collar, never truly made it to the skin and fur beneath it. For the ponies who wore the collars, however, the feeling of not having something around their neck was rejuvenating, almost as if a great weight had been lifted from their souls. Moving the last and final collars from their former prisoners, Neo and Al regrouped with the others near the dungeon center. You know what to do, right, Em? Neo asked, putting the collar keys back into his pocket. Em nodded and started out towards the door. I do, but I'll need some help doing it. That's what we're here for, Cupcake, Lucy said, not to just Em, but every pony in the dungeon that was following her. Em stopped at the door leading out of the dungeon, faced the crowd behind her. First she did not say a thing, not a word or sound. She simply scanned the mass of ponies before her and sighed. I know you're all happy to be free, but despite what you think, you're not. At least, not yet. We still have one last trial to go through. One last obstacle to traverse before we leave this damned place. Em turned her attention to her brother's group, and stood near the crowd center. Out of you five, I need some pony to distract the guards, while the others with guns help me get the ponies out of the compound.
Lester stepped up. I'll do it.
Neil and Al went on uncertainly. Sure you could do it on your own? Do you want one of us to help you? Neil asked.
Negative. It was my weakness that got you in here. It'll be my strength to correct that error. In addition, I have this.
Lester pointed to the massive Gatling saddle on his back. Wow. Al's jaw dropped as he awed the wonderful weapon. In that case, you might as well know where we're going. Al continued dismissing the previous conversation the three ponies had. There's an alleyway behind the tavern that all of you will sneak through. Now, right under, next to the fence, is a small ditch I've dug that's big enough for a pony to slide through. One by one, you'll go under it. Once you're gone, you'll go across a shallow river to the nearest hill. Wait there until me and the others show up. Em gulped, feeling a great nervousness to swell inside her. Yet despite her anxiety, she retained a firm, confident look to avoid scaring the other former prisoners in her care. Now, I've never had to take this many ponies into the gate, so please, whatever you do, remain as quiet as you can. If you play your part right, you'll all be out of here in no time. A faint positive murmur fell over the crowd. Now, Em said, let's get the hell out of here! Agreeing heads from every pony nodded, and the Ems opened up the door. While the door slowly swayed open, the prisoners constantly stepped out in single file. The slaves crept down the outdoor walkway and into the main compound. Em had initially expected their behavior to be lively and hard to control. This was, for many of them, the first time they had been free in years. But to Em's relief, they acted cooperatively and carefully. Every pony, including the brothers group, moved on through the compound building, past the green door that led outside. Across from the door was the alleyway, which led, as Em mentioned, right to the chain-link fence that surrounded the compound. Holding the door open, Em gestured one pony to move through the door into the alleyway. As she did so, Allie and Lucy dashed across the edge of the alleyway, keeping low to the ground. With their weapons ready, they held each pony across the open space inside the alleyway. Lester and the brothers waited in the hallway, helping each slave move along in an orderly manner. Like the bullets of a loaded gun firing rounds, one by one the slaves sprinted across the alley. Anne turned her head and faced Wester with the drum firmly placed against her back. Once we got all of them through, you know what to do, right? From where Wester stood, he glanced down the doorway, briefly before returning to Em. Affirmative. Good, Em continued. We'll need that distraction if the slaves have even a slight chance of making it. Only a few of the slaves remained inside the compound, and, as the number shrank only to a hoofful, Em nodded at Wesper. Okay, Dio, Adam, come with me. We'll get the slaves out through the fence. Wester, you said you knew what to do.
I do.
Wester responded surely, unholstering the massive python revolvers from their holsters. Right, Em said, bolstering her hoof for Adam and Neo to follow her. Let's finish this! When Em had let go of the door, she went to join the slaves in the alley. Wester and the brothers were now alone in the dark hallway. Now, just like Arcan, the nerve-wracking feeling of fear set in. As the brothers raised their weapons, they smiled the most confident smiles they could to combat their anxiousness. Well, Neil started. Try to be careful, Wester.
I will.
Wester responded. The barrels of his Gatling saddle now began to rotate as he tested the condition. Adam stepped closer to Wester, peering into the single crimson visor. spoke to the Irish stallion with worry in his voice.
Listen, Wester, I know you want to punish Big for what he did to us, but we really need to go. Move on, my mother used to say.
Negative.
Wester interjected. The intimidating gun of his Gatling style grew.
It is my programming, my objective to protect. I must continue to protect until the threat is eliminated, even if I die.
Neil's expression grew cold as he glared at Wester. You don't have to, though. You're a pony, just like the rest of us.
But it is my purpose, Wester declared. Nothing else I can do. I must kill her.
Fine, kill her, Neil started disorderly. Remember, she's just a filly. Know she's crazy, but killing her won't solve a damn thing. Remaining silent, Neil walked through the door. Adam, though, stood still, looking up at Wester. Lowering his head, Adam sadly tried after his brother, leaving Wester without a single word. Wester didn't notice. A fire of wrath now kindled inside him. This was it, the moment he had been waiting for to correct his mistake. Nothing in heaven nor hell could stop him. No pony, no matter how strong he's confident for killing Big Lot. This was his goal, his promise. Wester emerged from the green, pressed the door on the side of the compound. In the alleyway across from him, he could see the sleighs and the rest of his group go through a tiny space within the gate. With both pistols drawn and the barrels of his Gatling gun spinning rapidly, he marched forward. Viciously, the Gatling style growled as he approached the tavern. On inside its thick wooden walls, he could hear the various soldiers inside sing, laugh, and talk merrily. Walking down the road near the tavern's entrance were two legion unicorn guards with their rifles slung on their sides. Wester approached him, and at first glance the guards didn't seem to pay him any mind. Once he had come into full view, a light in the distance simmering out the redness of his visor, he cocked their heads curiously. Pointing their rifles at Wester, they approached him. "Hey!" one of the guards called. "You're not a guard! Who the hell are—" Both guards went silent once they caught Wester's spinning Gatling cells. "Oh shit!" One of the guards screamed as he turned to run away. Before the guards could retreat, Wester raised his revolvers and aimed for their heads. With deadly accuracy, two bullets pierced through the thin gas mask of each soldier. The shots rang loudly as both soldiers fell down to the ground, lifeless. A pool of blood gathered around the large grotesque holes that perforated faces of the once living soldiers. Stepping over their bodies, Wester kept moving. With each step, another ounce of rage grew inside him. Never had he been so angry. Never he had been so compelled to kill. Inside the helmet were statistics telling him the best, and most efficient ways to go about killing the ponies around him. For a moment, the only ponies he could see were a few soldiers laying on old blankets, completely intoxicated. Ignoring them, he paused outside the tavern. Wester glanced at the structure, analyzing its finer details. Like most taverns he had seen, this one had a swinging set of wooden doors. Inside, he could hear the ponies romp and cheer festively. It was clear to him that the uproar of merriment inside managed to cloud the sounds of the two gunshots he had fired before. But it didn't matter if they had heard him or not. He was ready to purge the world of their presence. His Gatling shot aimed to release the barrage of metallic death as he advanced to the tavern. However, the moment he stepped in front of the tavern's entrance, a soldier picked his head out of the doors. The soldier's face was pressed right against Wester's. There was blank and drowsy expression. It was completely clear that the pony before him was drunk beyond belief. "Hey!" the soldier mumbled with a faint slur in his voice. "Did anybody hear that? It sounded like a shh." Without giving the pony a moment to speak further, Wester took one of his revolvers and brutally beat the side of the soldier's head. The disoriented soldier collapsed to the ground. Stepping over the pony, Wester slammed the two wooden flapping doors open and barred to the tavern. All activity of any kind stopped instantly, so time itself had froze. The sound of the door swinging back and forth was the only thing that proved it had not. Pony's hoof wrestling stood still. Scantily dressed mares on the second floor held their breath as they looked down at Wester. "They're ponies! One scantily clad!" Even the bartender, who had thought himself cheated to all manner of offense as all his years spent working in the tavern, was shocked by the sudden intrusion. Wester's Gatling gun hummed loudly while the eyes of every pony stared, completely perplexed by the mysterious armored stallion standing near their entrance. With each passing second, the flaps of the door slowed. Flap, Flap, flap. As soon as the doors went still, a soldier rose from the round table to fire us into the tavern. Pointing to Wester, he angrily asked, "Who the hell are you?" Wester answered by unleashing powerful metal bullets that had been waiting so eagerly to be released. A furious typhoon of fire and metal swept across the tavern. Broken glass and wooden debris scattered and flew across the tabletops. Soldiers howled in pain as the bullets tore through them, and red mist flew through their bodies. Destruction and mayhem spread across every inch of the tavern's interior. Limbs were torn from their bodies as chunks of flesh grotesquely splattered against the walls. After what seemed like an eternity, a rain of glowing metal halted. The end of the gun grew grim, drab red, while smoke calmly ascended from the slowly bending barrels. Once again, the tavern was silent. Only the unnerving sound of a mixture of alcohol and blood sipping from the walls and tabletops could be heard. From the first floor to the splintered railings of the second, nothing was left. Not a single soul. Only the soldier Wester had assaulted at the entrance lived. The stricken soldier struggled to stand. The pain inside of his head throbbed him out of balance, into turmoil. Placing a hoof over his sword side of his head, the legion soldier struggled to find his footing. What happened? He muttered, raising his head. Turning around, his eyes looked at the horrifying scene before him. Eyes wide and shredded, mutilated corpses of his fallen comrades lay torn and lifeless around the cavern. He stammered in shock, mouth widely agape. Turning his gaze to the armored stallion, the soldier pointed at Wester, signifying, Did you do this? Wester faced the pony, slowly approached him. The soldier was too fearful to run away. Lowering himself, the soldier shielded his face with his foreleg as Wester stood over him, casting an imitating shadow over his entire body. Please, the soldier begged, softly sobbing. I don't want to die. Staring down at the soldier, Wester asked fervently, Where's Bigelow? She's in the main storage building. There was a pause for Wester before he announced his satisfaction. Good. Moving the statue around his lower body, Wester let the empty saddle roll off his side, landing on the hardwood floor. Leaving the soldier to his own fate, Wester walked out of the bar. From behind flapped one of the tables. Two heads peeked over the edge, scanning the room for Wester. As Whopper and Scooter appeared at the structure from the table. Together, the two were completely shocked ponies, appalled at the gruesome scene before them. From where they stood, staring right at the horror before them, nothing, not even a whimper, escaped their mouths. Stepping out carefully out of the stable, the two stallions stood silently in the center of the room. Wester trotted down the main street of Jerkytown, feeling more enraged than ever before. The whole settlement was quiet as the few civilians that lived within the confines of the scarce amount of normal buildings hid, only peeking outside their windows to see who was safe. Wester hadn't realized it, but the majority of the soldiers that guarded the town spent most of their time relaxing in the tavern. He could have cared less. He was on a mission. Like an armored beast of war, he prowled through the street with his pistols at the ready. Lucy and the others waiting near the alley's entrance, scanning the area for their friend. He managed to keep him low and avoided the local population's attention. Allie trotted up to the group from further down the alleyway. Whispering, Allie said, I'm just left with the last few slaves. Whatever Wester did, it did the trick. I didn't see a single guard. Good. Lucy said, continuing to scan the area for her friend. Once I see Wester, we head out. Hopefully we can talk him out killing Big Lot. Just go. Neo shook his head disappointedly. I don't know. You see dead set offensively his objective.
That is right,
Adam added.
I'm not sure how easily it'll be, if it's even possible to convince him to stop.
We can always hope, Allie carried. Lucy's eyes moved around the visible area, so she caught a pony marching through the main street at the corner of her eye. Quickly, she diverted her attention to the pony that was prowling like a mad dog to the main storage building. If there was any way to see Wester's eyes, they would be narrow, filled with anger and pure stubborn determination. There he is! Lucy exclaimed, pointing towards Wester as he walked down the street. Neil put a hoof to the side of his mouth and called out to Wester as softly as possible. Wester! Over here! Come on! Wester paused and looked at the group. Every pony motioned their host to come towards him. Leave the settlement once and for all. Rather than move onward or trot towards the group, he loudly but evenly called to him in a normal tone of voice. You can come out. I took care of most of the guards. Instantly, their gestures stopped, and they were left puzzled stares.
Lucy was the first to stand up, leaving a high spot. A walk from Lester. Rifle hanging loosely at her side, she approached her friend. Lester simply looked down at her silently.
Allie, Neo, and Adam followed behind Lucy. The three ponies were completely astonished. Lester was right. Not a single soldier in sight. Truly, whatever you'd done worked incredibly well. So, Lucy began, you coming or what?
Lester shook his head at her. No, Lucky. I'm completing my objective.
You don't have to do this, Lucy told Lester softly. She's just a filly. You know that.
I thought so. Yesterday.
Lester replied loudly.
This is now. And now I will complete my objective. It is what I must do.
Lucy poked Lester in the chest, glaring at him. It is not you, Lester. That stupid program that works in your suit is not you. Let's forget about killing her and let's go!
No! Lester yelled. I have to. I need.
Lucy's expression turned sour. Makes you feel what, Like you have purpose? You are a friend! Pointing a home to the brothers, he continued. Your purpose is not to kill a young filly. It's to help those two meet their mother! A battle raged inside Lester's head. One fought by his mind and soul.
My objective.
Lucy pushed him as tears escaped from her eyes. You don't need objectives! If your stupid objective is worth more than a young life, then what's left of your soul? Stepping closer to Lucy, a voice, like what Nelson group heard before, came from Lester. It was low and sorrowful. Regret and pit saddening in tone.
Lucky, I have a soul. I have objectives and.
Lucy pushed forcefully against Lester, causing him to stagger backward. No! It's clear you don't know what to do! You don't know how to care about! You can't even remember about us! Why? Why don't you remember? Frozen. Lester was completely frozen. No words could express the mixture of grief, pain, and regret that Lester felt. As the emotions simmered, anger started to burn. One that quickly erupted a sudden blast of pure rage. Lester hid this rage, turned around, and marched onward to kill Big Lot. Lucy stood there, eyes wide, appalled by her response. Gray ran rightly. She growled like an angry lioness. That's right! Run away! Don't say anything to me! Classy her haunts, he cried softly. Yeah, run away. Leave me. Forget who you are. Neil rubbed the back of his neck uncertainly. As he carefully approached Lucy, he used a kind, reassuring tone to address her. Lucy, I don't know what to say. He's lost it, Lucy muttered, her tears falling down to the dry dirt. Placing a gentle hoof on her shoulder, Neo continued to try to reassure her. Maybe there's still a chance, to reach him, the real him. Anna tried to smile reassuringly in the hope it might brighten her spirits. Bear's right, there's still a chance. Allie joined them, feeling the extra positive energy would help. You're right. I think we still got a shot. What do you think, Lucy? What do I think? Lucy choked quietly. I think you're all silly for thinking we could chase that thing! He's gone! Gone. Lucy continued to cry mournful tears. Neo straightened himself and placed both hoofs onto Lucy's shoulders, forcing her to look at him. He moved his muzzle close to her, close enough to where Lucy could feel Neo's warm breath pressed against the small hairs of her nose. Staring succinctly into her wet, pooling eyes, Neo declared, You listen here! I know he might have given up on you, but we're still his friends! That means we can't give up on him! With Bell Hoof, Neo nudged Lucy's foreleg, so let's be there for him. Let's help him make the right choice. He's not lost. He's just upset. And as his friends, we need to beat Sarah to see him through it. Rubbing her running nose with the sleeve of her duster, she nodded, sobbing, I guess we could try. Lucy placed one hoof on her forelegs, looked down uncertainly. Well, he's forgotten everything! But there's not even a Western left in there. Allie stepped up, resting her own gentle hoof onto his shoulder. Smiling a motherly sort of smile, she said, We can still try. The only time you truly give it up is when you stop trying, right? Here, Neo said. Let's go help him, together. Both Neo and Allie helped her get onto her hose once more. As he lifted her up, she looked at Neo. I don't think you acted that since, well, you helped Ian Mayton. Neo smiled. That's what friends are for? Well, Lucy was on all fours, every point chased after Lester, who, by now, was already near the front entrance of the storage building Big Lot called home. And time was favorable, their words chosen carefully, enough. There was a chance Wester could be stopped. It's Lucy, though, that had most determined resolve. The group near the erased stallion's position. Lucy pondered the things that she could say to dissuade him. Because right now, it was them alone that stood between Big Hot and the bullets of Wester's guns. Big Hot rested peacefully in their well-protected room. A projector near the side of her bed filled her ceiling with a sea of white, girly enamel-shaped lights. As she lay in her bed, she snored sweetly. The only thing that could distract her now was the knock of somebody at the door. Which inevitably happened. The door went. Big Hot's ears perked upward. Yet she tried her best to ignore the annoying knocks that rang in the deepest part of her ears. Then the knocking started again. Although it was faster and more urgent a sound than it had previously been. Opening her heavy, sore eyelids, Big Hot sat up and rubbed the tiredness from her eyes. "What is it?" she grumbled, fixing the tangled mess that was her mane. The bulging door to her room opened slightly. Minion poked his face through the door. A deep, sincere urgency was in his voice as he frantically looked into the hallway to check his surroundings. "Your Radiance," Minion started whispering, "I'm deeply sorry to have woken you, but we must go before he comes for you." Cocking her head to the side, Big Luck stood up from the covers of her bed.
What? Who? What's happening?
Minion opened the door and stepped inside, shut it behind him carefully.
"Your slaves have escaped, and those new ponies helped them breach the fence."
It took a moment for the message to process in Big Lot's mind. As the disorienting mixture of tiredness and confusion clouded her mind. The moment her mind did process the full picture, a light switched on and clarity filled her head. "What?" she screamed. Minion, in fear of his master's wrath, lowered his hand to avert his gaze.
"Yes," he mumbled. "There's a pony to kill you right now. He's been attacking the compound, and is on his way as we speak."
Giving the minion a smudged shoulder, she asked in a taunting tone,
And who is this pony coming after me?
The armored one, your Radiance."
Ha!
Big Lot laughed, hopping down from her bed.
Get you guys, kill him. What are we worried about? And where's that idiot Scooter? To get him to bring me back my toys.
Minion gulped. "I'm afraid most of our soldiers are."
Big Lot stood before the master stallion, patting him and tapping her hoof peacefully against the ground.
And where are they?
"There."
Minion hesitated as he tried to find the courage to answer Big Lot.
"Dead, your Radiance."
Bewildered, Big Lot raised an eyebrow at the cowardly stallion.
Are you telling me that most of my soldiers are dead and my compound's under attack?
"Yes,"
he replied gently. Glaring at Minion with a stare so contemptible it could pierce the soul of any pony, he screamed,
Incompetent! Useless! Stupid ponies, all of you!
Minion fled to readdress her.
"What is it you wish to do, your Radiance?"
Big Lot planted her hoof firmly on her face.
What you think, you oversized numbnut? We need to kill that stupid pony!
"But, your Radiance."
Minion insisted.
No, I want him dead!
She declared, stopping her host fiercely. As her tantrum grew, Big Lot stopped and screamed wildly.
I want his head now! I want it! I want it! I want it!
Minion gulped. Felt intense anxiety attacked him as he pounded Big Lot.
"As you wish."
Once a cooperative response grazed Big Lot's tiny ears, her intense fit ceased. And instead, a wicked, cruel smile formed as she chuckled herself.
You'll be dead! Yes, dead! We'll go to the hall where the rest of my soldiers are waiting, and when he comes in, bang! Dead pony! Dead pony!
Regret stirred in Minion, no doubt in his mind. He was terrified.
"Let's go."
Let's go, Big Lot commanded, rustling out the door of her room.
Summon the rest of my guards! Today, that pony dies!
Big Lot yelled, as she ran off to play the most dangerous game she would ever play in her life. The double-weathered doors leading to the old Swords building but figures. A deep, crimson, sparkling aura coated both python revolvers as he floated in front of him. Triggers of both weapons were ready to fire at any pony, anyone, or anything that would dare stand in front of him. Entering the first dark hallway of the building, Westward was spotted by 3 legion soldiers. Before they could draw their weapons, or even say a word to him, the heavy, loud bullets ripped through the flesh. Accurately, each shot Western fired tore straight through the armor of the ponies, sending the guard to the ground, blood spitting profusely out of their wounds. Down the hallway Western went. He felt the coming encounter approach. A faint feeling of refined anxiety was stuck in his chest. Feeling the beats of his heart increase in speed, he walked past the bodies towards the next door doors, and led him to a room where Billy Blingbot was. Behind him, Wester could hear the echoes of his friends shout out his name. Wester, stop! They cried out. We can still leave! Stop this! It was Lucy's voice that rang out most distinctly above all the others. Unlike all the other voices that shouted his name, hers was the most heartfelt, the one that was filled with most sincere dread and the earnest worry. He channeled out the voices, focusing only on the intent ahead. I must fulfill my objective, he mumbled to himself. I must fulfill objective. With his hind legs, he positioned himself only a few feet away from the next set of doors. With a single decisive kick, he passed the doors wide open. Throughout the hall, several soldiers were positioned behind steel support columns. Rifles of every kind were pointing in Wester's general direction. Wester, stop! As soon as he heard Lucy's call, every room in the gun fired. Together, the rifle blasts created a thunderous symphony, accompanied by a slow of hypnotizing muzzles flashing. Wester deftly rode to the side and took cover behind the nearest steel column he could find. As the downpour of brass casings fell to the ground and bullets passed Wester's head, a young filly laughed. Big Od's laugh was high and maniacal, almost positive in tone and blissful in pitch. Die! She guffawed. Die! Breathing in deeply, Wester knew what needed to be done. Can I take a chance to shoot the soldiers, or you can wait to die? Listen carefully to the rest of the gunshots. When the barrage stopped as the soldiers reloaded, Wester took a chance. Wester dove for the corner of the pillar, quickly aimed his pistols. Wester fired shot after deadly shot into soldiers' heads. At the end of the grand hall, Big God poked her head over the top of the large, black leather throne. Her eyes were wide, twisting with excitement, as she screamed for her soldiers to kill Wester. But nothing, not even the soldiers before Wester, could stop his advance. The bullets grazed and dented his armor, or served only to drive him further. Desperate soldiers fell as Wester's bullets tunneled through their bodies. Some tried to cover their wounds from spilling more blood with their hooves. A few others tried to crawl away. A desperate minority tried to heal their severed limbs by taking a sip of a healing potion. But no matter what they did, they all died. They even failed to slow Wester down. It was as if everything around Wester moved in slow motion. From a loud blast of guns to the dying cries of pain from the soldiers, everything was slow and dragging. Halfway through the hall, Wester darted out to the side, emptying his faint cells to the pistols. As he moved, when he was in cover, Wester found his pistols were nearly out of ammunition. Undeterred, Wester lashed onto a dead soldier's rifle, and leapt back into the fray. One by one, the last of the soldiers fell until Big Lot, Minion, and two soldiers rolled that were left. The once peppy, sadistic laughter of the filly was gone, for Big Lot had learned a valuable lesson. Lucy got game wasn't very fun. Quick! She screamed, panic-stricken. Shoot him! Shoot him! Minion charged at Wester like a massive, powerful ox. Two soldiers behind Minion abstained from shooting Wester and avoided friendly fire. You see the last bullet inside his left pistol. Wester carefully aimed at the furious stallion's head. Wester fired, and Minion's eyes went wide as a single bullet lodged between his now lifeless eyes. Crashing to the ground, Minion slid off to the side. The final two soldiers now stared at the body, the only point that could have stopped Wester. Looking at Wester, the two threw down their guns and ran straight for the bastion doors. Fuck this! One of the soldiers exclaimed. I want to live! Wester let the two guards leave the room. He was too focused on Big Hot now. Tears pooled to the corners of Big Hot's eyes, wide, fearful eyes. The filly's jaw was dropped as he looked at the destruction Wester had wrought. Glancing to the bodies of her fallen guards, Big Hot whimpered, Guards? Glancing to her now fallen servant, Minion. Tears gently called down her tiny cheeks. Minion? She sobbed, realizing how dangerous a situation she'd fallen into. Wester stood silent for a moment, covered in a series of dents, bullet scratches, and dots of fresh blood. Ominously, his crimson visor stared at her, as he too blinked out terrified. Please, she mewed, stepping down from her chair, backing away from Wester in fear. Climbing the few short stairs leading up to her throne, Wester closed in on her. Fearful for her own life, she backed away, so her flank touched the wall as she reached the end. The raised armored monster was only a few feet now. Right revolver. Wester saw he had one bullet left. One single bullet would be all it would take. It was all he needed to end Big God's reign of slavery and bloodshed. Cocking the hammer with his pistol back, he placed the end of the barrel firmly against her small forehead. Tears poured down the side of her face as he quivered and shook, feeling the cool steel against her flesh. Wester! Yells shouted from the other end of the hall. Wester ignored the group and prepared to end Big God's life. The group dashed for the end of the hall. He halted kneeling when Wester sternly commanded them to stop. You could only watch Wester in horror. Allie stepped forward and called out to Wester, Please, let's go! There's nothing left for us here! Listen to her, Wester, Neil added. Forget about your objectives. She's just a filly!
I need to do this.
Wester exclaimed, pressing the barrel harder against her trembling head. No, you don't, Wester! Lucy said softly. Wester froze and turned his head slightly. He glanced at the group from the corner of his visor. Lucy walked past the group, more closely to Wester.
It's my objective. My purpose is to kill her and save you,
Wester cried. Lucy kept an unnerving straightness in her face as he stared a slow-piercing glare of determination at him. Wester, she cooed warmly, this isn't you. This isn't the Wester you were.
It is my purpose. She will die,
he shouted fervently. Lucy looked down at the ground. A mournful shadow cast over her eyes. Dead before you kill her and destroy who you once were. Do me one last favor. Wester was silent and did not respond to her. Could you remember me? Remember the times we spent together? And who you were? Just try. That way, I know the old Wester's there. Somewhere in there. There was nothing he could do. He couldn't move or speak. Like a solid, frozen mountain, he could not move. Would he even bother to remember Lucy? Could he? What did he mean by that, anyways? Who was he before? Despite the hate that faced her and boiled him, he tried to think back. Try as he might, his focus only got him so far. Not a single memory came to him. Lucy was on the verge of tears, as he stood there in the hall murmuring quietly to herself. Try for me. There was a flash. A blanket of pure, blinding light that surrounded his entire body. Feeling weakness as followed. He felt an incredible sensation he had not felt in a while. Freezing wind calmly blowing against his fur.
But how could I? My whole body's encased in armor,
Wester thought. As the light slowly faded, Wester found that he was somewhere that wasn't Big God's throne room. In fact, he was outside, in the middle of a cool, breezy day. Like every day in the waste, the dark, gray clouds blanketed the sky. Chilling wind blew gently against him. The ground was loose and dusty. However, he noticed a blurry object in front of him. Suddenly, the object came into focus, taking shape and form. Wester could see a small, trembling, gray and dirt-covered Pegasus filly standing in front of him. The filly looked to him as he pressed firmly against her back against a small rock. Placing his gun, Wester extended his foreleg to the cowering little filly. It was an unarmored, normal foreleg with crested fur that only covered the sleeve of his brown coat. She hid her face with tiny hooves, protecting herself from him. Wester was confused at first, but he kneeled down to give her a reassuring smile anyway.
Hey, he said tenderly. It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you.
The filly continued to shield herself from him, and refused to reply out of fear of a stranger.
Are you alone?
Wester asked. She did not reply.
Do you have a mom? A dad? Brother or sister, maybe?
Upon realizing that asking these questions was futile, Wester tried a different tactic. Taking a seat next to her, placing his back against a rock, Wester sat down on the cold, dry floor. He hummed a song as he remained shivering next to her. Wester noticed this and removed a long brown trench coat on his body.
Are you cold?
He asked. She moved her small hose from her face and looked up to him. Without saying a thing, she nodded briefly. Once again, he smiled at her affectionately, as he wrapped a warm coat around her small body.
There.
He regarded with much accomplishment.
Much better, don't you think?
She held the warm coat and snuggled it, feeling the warmth coming to her.
See?
Wester chuckled, nice and warm. For a moment she kept her eyes off of him, as the two listened to the wind howl in the distance.
So, Wester sung, what's your name? My name is Wester. I'm a traveler. And
he held leaning closely, placing the hook to the side of his mouth.
I'm a part-time pirate,
he whispered to her. She giggled at him.
You're not a pirate.
Whisper gasped.
Then himself, moving over his heart, he replied in his exaggerated, stuffy voice, "Why, I say, see here, miss, I'll have you know, I want the most feared pirate in the land. Captain Weston is what they call me. But," he started whispering to her, "you need to keep it a secret. I can't have all the old pony know that I am a famous captain."
Philly giggled out.
You're silly.
Wester grinned.
"I try."
My name is
Philly tried speaking, only found it difficult at first.
Lucy. Lucy Luck.
Wester said with a sigh, "That's a lucky kind of name." "Hey," Wester declared merrily, "how do you like that name? Lucky. Lucky, you know. I think it suits you better. Would you rather have me call you Lucy?"
No, Lucy murmured. Lucky's fine.
"Then so it shall be,"
Wester declared to committee dramatically.
"Lucky it is, so says I, Captain Wester."
Wester laughed for a moment, before returning to the Philia's side.
"So then, Miss Lucky, where are your folks? Certainly a nice little one as yourself as a mom and dad."
Lucy closed her eyes, and buried her face in a warm coat around her body.
"Was it something I said?"
Wester asked apologetically. Wester laughed for a moment, before returning to the Philia's side.
"So then, Miss Lucky, where are your folks? Certainly a nice little one as yourself as a mom and dad."
Lucy closed her face, and buried her face in a warm coat around her body.
"Was it something I said?"
Wester asked apologetically.
No.
Lucy murmured sadly.
"Then you could tell me what a little thing like you's doing out here."
I
The Philly stuttered, trying to find her words.
was trying to get to my uncle's.
"All by yourself?"
Wester asked. She looked at the ground mournfully, tightening the coat around her.
"Where does your uncle live?"
He lives in Silver Main City. So far away, Phil. And I'm all alone.
She was the first on crying. Seeing this, Wester put a reassuring hand over her shoulder.
"Hey there, don't cry. I'll be okay. Listen, kiddo,"
Wester proposed.
"I was heading on my way there anyway. How about you come with me? That way you don't have to be alone anymore."
I don't know. I'm so scared. I just.
"Don't worry.
Wester said, giving her a kindly smile.
We'll go there together."
She looked down with hopeful eyes.
Do you know where Silver Main City is?
Wester nodded.
"I sure do, kiddo. I know the fast route. We'll get there in no time."
Lucy smiled, enjoying the thought of seeing her uncle in Silvermane City. Ruffling her shaggy blonde mane, Wester smiled.
"Don't worry, kiddo. We'll get you to your uncle's. I promise."
Then the world submerged him in a bright, shining white light again. A pretentious beeping sounded in his ear, followed by electronic mirror's voice that commanded him through his helmet. Adjective, killed Big Clot. Adjective, killed Big Clot. Adjective, adjective, adjective. Voice faded as Wester saw what he was doing. If he had never left, Big Clot was still petrified as Wester's pistol was pressed against her head. Horrified, Wester immediately holstered his weapons. A new feeling came over him. It was a rejuvenating sensation of freedom. A feeling, at least, he could not recall ever having. Turning away slowly from Big Lot, Wester stepped down from the few low steps leading to the leather chair Big Lot had once sat upon. Looking at the group silently, Wester approached Lucy, her eyes red and moist.
Lester?
Wester stood before Lucy. Looking down at her, he used one of his mellow hosts to gently wipe away the tears on her cheeks. He wrapped his host around her, hugging her. There was a respectful silence from the group as the two embraced.
"I'm sorry, Lucky,"
Wester said softly. I'm sorry too, Wester. I was shouting at you. His hug tightened slightly.
"Can you forgive me for what I've done, the way I acted?"
Sniffling, Lucy smiled. It's okay, you big elf. I still love you. Letting go of Lucy, Wester turned his attention towards the group. In a low, sincere voice, he spoke to them.
"Come on. Let's get out of here. There's nothing left to do."
Kind, heartwarming smiles were spread through the group as they trotted out to the exit. As he departed, Big Lot felt fury rise inside her. Graying her teeth, she yelled at the group as he rode off. That's right! Run! I knew you could do it! You're weak! Weak! A deep, blazing orange, brightly colored cloud sky above like a fervent mural of watercolors. In its far distant, As against the wall that spanned for miles was the dark, silent border of gentlemen of Turkey Town. Not a single soul stirred in the streets. Every party that was left hid in their houses. Silence, complete, tranquil silence. Waiting and rolling was the group of slaves that had escaped. Entirely they stumbled about, kicking rocks and gazing at the blazing, twisting sky above. Em stood patiently amongst the group, tapping her hoof and biting her lower lip. One of the slaves, a stallion, approached them. "Think they're okay?" the stallion asked. "I'm not sure," Em murmured nervously. Gently patting them on the back, the stallion reassured her. "They're a brave bunch. I'm sure they're on their way back as we speak." "Yeah," Em sighed, gazing up at the distant settlement. "As we speak." The stallion trotted off to rejoin the other slaves, leaving Em to look out for the group. Em saw 5 tiny figures advancing from the hills below her. It was difficult to tell who or what the 5 figures were. Perhaps they could be soldiers Big God sent to recapture them. Perhaps they were a pack of wild dogs. Placing her hoof on the brow, she squinted slightly and carefully into quickly approaching figures. With each moment that passed, the dark formless characters took shape. Soon their bodies could be seen in full detail from the position. A grin of exuberant joy formed on their formerly disfigured face, as, to her surprise, it was the group she and the others had waited for. Bolting across the hills, a trail of dust picked up behind them. "It's them!" Em called to the slaves. "They're back!" Every pony's ears perked up at the mere mention of such good news. Gathering alongside Em, the slaves watched a small group of ponies approach them. Putting a hoof to the side of her mouth, Em called out to them, "We're over here!" Watching the ponies come closer and closer intensified the feeling of hope Em had. When the group arrived, they were greeted by the thankful hugs and overjoyed praise of the slaves. Beaming smiles and warming comments touched the hearts of each member of the group. Hurrying back was met silently. Neo blushed faintly. "Hey guys, it's okay. It was nothing." I shook the airplanes' hooves, greeting them.
Yeah, what better said?
Em stepped up to the group, tenderly smiling.
To them, what you did was more than just nothing. It was everything.
"Well, I'm glad to see they're enjoying their freedom." Em nodded, looking to the bright, joyful faces of the former slaves.
You all are. Only now that they are free, we don't know where to go.
I don't know a place that could want to turn us back to the Legion.
You could try Silvermane Tower, Allie suggested.
Affirmative, Lester agreed. They will take you in. Freelancers and owners of the establishment will treat you fairly, despite the Guardian's crude laziness.
I've heard such a place.
Em said with a slight twinge of uncertainty in her voice.
But how far is it? What direction do we go?
Lester pointed towards the direction of Silvermane Tower.
Go west a few miles. It is a large structure. You can't miss it.
I guess that's our best bet then,
Em said thankfully as she stared into the west. The little breeze of morning wind brushed against the fur of every pony. In a way, it was calmly, feeling the coolness that gave them a sense of freedom. Returning her gaze to the group, she added,
how can I repay you? Your group did so much for us. You told us about a place to live, helped me free the ponies, and stopped Big Lot. I'm speechless.
He chuckled. You don't have to do anything. You helped us get out of there. That's good enough for us. Al stood next to his brother.
Looking up to Neil's hopeful eyes, he nodded. We have to go with ours. We still have something to find, somewhere out there.
Well, in reply,
guess this is goodbye then.
Yeah, Allie sighed heavily.
Let's make sure he stays tipped on your trip, okay?
A nod.
We will. These folks have been cooped up in that settlement forever.
I bet they just instantly to start walking. Lucy chuckled. I know we're not looking forward to it. We still got a long way to go. Em turned from the group and whistled loudly to the liberated slaves, waving her hoof in the air, and motioned for them to follow her. Come on! We got a lot of ground to cover! As they pulled behind them, Em started to lead them to the westward. Watching her and the air pony sparked off to the west to make the group smile. Tingling gratefulness filled the chest of each pony. They were free, each and every one of the ponies they helped, and now they could live how they wanted, for all time. Before Em made it to the next hill, she looked back at the group. Calling out to them, she said, Take care!
You too!
Al called back in response. While they couldn't see the sun, His bright orange light seeped through the clouds behind him, leaving the group alone on the hill, watching the slaves and them wander off into the vast distance and out of sight.
Well, where are we headed?
Adam asked, looking to the east.
Same place we were heading to before.
Neil patted Lester on the back wholeheartedly. Yep, and with Lester and Lucy all friends again, there's nothing can stop us. Neil yawned loudly as soon as he finished the sentence. However, a lack of sleep might stop us.
Nah, we'll be fine. You're a tough boy, ain't you, Neo?
Lucy smirked down.
Oh, and by the way,
Lucy added, leaning closely to Neo, don't bring up I cried again. If you do, I'll suck you a new one. Neo gulped and swallowed nervously.
sure thing, Lucy.
Lester, looking at the east, said, I believe if we wish to reach the eastern provincial mountains, we need to travel through the northwest skirts of Silvermane City.
And how far is that?
Allie asked. 10 miles, devoid of wares, and has little to no Legion influence.
Great. Once we get there, we can rest, right? I'm beat after last night,
Neo moaned,
feeling the lack of sleep affect his body.
Affirmative. We can all rest.
Lucy nudged Lester playfully in the foreleg. Thought you didn't sleep much.
Lester ignored the question and cleared his throat. Let's move. The sun is moving, and we're wasting time by remaining stationary.
For the first time in years, Lucy saw something new in Lester.
Something that showed he wasn't just a computerized soldier, whose purpose was to mindly follow programs and orders.
No, he was something more now. Though she could not put himself directly on what she felt it was, she didn't mind.
For now, the feeling was good enough for her.
The group trudged off to the east.
It was the dawn of a new day. Regardless of their mishaps at the border, they felt happy. It was a joy that, for the longest time, none of them had truly felt, and for once, the new day looked brighter than it ever had before.
End credits of this arc!
Footnote, level up. New perk. Through hell in somewhere. Because of your hardships traversing the waste, you now receive a 20 XP bonus for every new occasion you discover. Additionally, you'll receive a healing boost that lasts for 10 minutes with each discovery. New perk. There comes a time. If you wait for a day from morning to dawn the next day, you will receive a health and healing bonus for 25 chapters. 25 minutes. This perk becomes inactive if the player waits less than 2 hours a day. Once the day-night cycle restarts, the perk will activate.